Will the devil get his due? Is the big question as we're about to enter the main event of AEW Full Gear this evening. Thank you for tuning in and listening. We're going to pick it up in the co-main event of the night. Currently, we have the AEW World Tag Team titles in the line with the Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory, Bowens and Caster. No Daddy Ass, but Scissor Me. And then, of course, Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Strickland. Heard the Acclaim's entrance as I started the stream at 13 matches. 3 on the kickoff pre-show, the buy-in, or now the 0 hour, if you will. And then, of course, 10 on the main card. Picking it up now because I didn't get done streaming earlier until right as this show began, as we had college football this November Saturday. Hopefully everyone has a happy Thanksgiving next week, and then a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. But, of course, as we continue to watch college football and then the NFL tomorrow and on Monday, and of course professional wrestling all year long, I'll have live watch along reaction to this library on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Full Gear. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, super likes, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. So, we got some time here to recap what's happened thus far, just before tonight's main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, in which we will see Jon Moxley defend that very title against Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, as he's in fact better than you, and you know it, as MJF's technically cashing in his casino ladder match poker chip that he had won back at All Out. And then, of course, you would have thought, as Punk had won the title, was then stripped of the title with what happened in the All Out presser. The Elite did, in fact, return, though, tonight. I could see Punk returning to end the show if MJF wins, and I do believe MJF is, in fact, winning, because it, recently hasn't been a matter of if, but a matter of when MJF was going to win the AEW World title, and, thought, okay, potentially, after his return, Grand Slam, maybe the anniversary show. Here we are at Full Gear. They'll have winners coming in a couple weeks next month. New Year's Smash as well, and then get into the new year. And then on the road to Revolution, in which, earlier this year, come full circle, that's when CM Punk and MJF had their dog collar match. And then Punk won the world title from Hangman, who had won it a year ago at Full Gear from Omega. Punk won the world title from Hangman at Double or Nothing. Held it for the most part all summer. Was battling injury. They had him keep the title while they had a interim champion, I might add, as well, and Jon Moxley. And then, of course, that led to the match they had a few weeks before All Out, to unify them, and then to have basically the rematch then at All Out, in which Punk won, but then said what he said afterwards during the press conference. Was suspended, stripped of the championship, as were the Elite for the trios tag team titles, in which they challenged for tonight against Death Triangle. That was the second match on the card. Death Triangle surprisingly retaining with Pac and the Lucha Brothers. So they're still your AEW World Trios champs. We'll see what they do with the Elite, but too sweet. But then, of course, I was actually at the post All Out Dynamite. Be sure to go check out those videos. Grand Slam then was 2 weeks later. They had, of course, to figure something out. I mean, honestly, what could they have done? They were put in a position that, they weren't expecting to be in, but they figured a way out. They did what they did. And still long term, it was going to be MJF potentially winning the title. And, now here we are tonight. But they have the tournament they had. And then as MJF won the poker chip, returning, I might add, after, he defeated Wardlow at Double or Nothing. And then said what he said on that post pay-per-view Dynamite, was gone all summer long. Has the poker chip, cash in anytime, anywhere. It's basically their Money in the Bank briefcase. And Moxley wins the tournament. So, long story short, with all that being said, it seems like it was supposed to be, and probably would have been, MJF going after Punk. But then they had Moxley hold down the fort as the champ, as he was reportedly supposed to take some time off after All Out. And he loses tonight. I think he's gone until at least the end of the year into New Year's. Because 6 weeks from now till the end of the year is, give or take, about 6 weeks. And they might even give him some more time off for that matter, because he, stayed and got the job done in the meantime. Long story short, they're still going to put over MJF. So now here we are tonight, and we get the match. After about a month ago, they had a special Tuesday night Dynamite because of some programming issue. Can't even recall what that was, but of course that's neither here nor there. It is what it is what it was. Here we are. So that's all that matters. But that's officially after Moxley had beat, hell, I can't even remember who it was. I think it was Bryan Danielson, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been Hangman, though. It was Hangman, because that's when he got hurt. And he's been out of action ever since with a concussion. And then you get to the end of the show, which we streamed. Be sure to check out those live watch-along reactions. And thank you once again for tuning in tonight and watching. No, with that being said, that is when officially MJF said he was going to cash in his poker chip, and in his own backyard in Newark, New Jersey, in the tri-state area. Of course, he's from NYC. He's from Long Island. And they had, after All Out in Chicago, once again, Full Gear and Arthur Ashe. And then here's Full Gear in New Jersey, in which the blue and white went and won by a large margin earlier today. But MJF said he was going to cash in at Full Gear, and it's been a month build of MJF going after Moxley. And as mentioned at the start, the big question is, will the Devil get his due this evening, and will MJF become AEW World Heavyweight Champion for the first time ever? And I believe so. I believe he will. It's about damn time. I'd be shocked. I think everybody would be shocked if Moxley was going to retain. But like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if Punk would return, at the end of the show, to get people talking. But they could just have MJF win it and then sign off. Punk's been doing some MMA commentary recently. Still, even with his, suspension from the company, rehabbing an injury. So who knows how much longer, he's going to be out for, if he ever comes back, for that matter, because they could flat out release him, buy him out from his contract, as it's been, rumored to have already happened or going to happen. We'll see what happens with all that. It's one big clusterfuck is all it was. And they were put in a position, and I mean, honestly, like I said, what could they do? Well, they figured a way out, and, here we are. But long-term storytelling, though, if Punk were to return, and then you have MJF as a champ, well, you could have him go after, the title. Technically, he never lost. And then it ties in with the story that, MJF and Punk were telling. And, it's going to be must-watch. Can't miss TV. I mean, I could honestly see them doing something, because they had teased Punk and FTR for the trios titles, and then the Elite won those, returned after their suspension, didn't win them back. So Death Triangle is still your champs, was mentioned, but they could do something non-title with Punk, FTR, and the Elite, because with what happened even after the press conference, for that matter, and the alleged fight in the locker room, people would buy in to watch that for sure. Like, that's real life shit. But we'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, for MJF, if he were to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship this evening, the big question is, other than, say, once again, if CM Punk were to return, if Moxley weren't getting a rematch, who the hell are they going to have go up and challenge MJF? Like, of course, they'll figure something out. I have no idea, though. I mean, they have the talent on their roster. They could do something potentially with the Firm to start off with. And they might get involved in the match tonight as, like, the Blackpool Combat Club. But it seems like, talk about titles, they're going to merge the AWTNT title and the Ring of Honor TV title, because Samoa Joe defeated Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs to win both championships this evening in a triple threat. So it seems like they're just going to have, or what they probably should do is have one TV title and have it be called the TV title. You don't need to have it be called the TNT or TBS. Because the TNT title, for God's sakes, gets defended more on TBS than it does on TNT. The TBS Women's Championship, just have a women's TV title. Like, it's the small things that add up. But here's this AEW World Tag Team title match. Should be going home here, I would have to think, sometime soon. The Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory, almost about a 20-minute match at this point, as we'll get the show on the road here in a second. But surprisingly, Jamie Hayter defeated Tony Storm to become the new interim AEW World Heavyweight Champion in the women's division. Jade Cargill retained her women's TBS championship as well, I might add, defeating Nyla Rose, who basically stole her title, and they had a 1A and 1B champ. but Jade still undefeated. Big thing is, Hater winning. You had, teased her and Britt splitting. Britt battled formerly known as Paige Saraya and lost in a pretty good match tonight. So Saraya 1-0 in AEW, defeating the Dr. Britt Baker, DMD herself. But Thunder Rose is still technically the main women's world champ for all wrestling. So it gets tricky. It gets interesting to see what they'll do with that. Death Triangle is mentioned, still your trios champs. Chris Jericho retained his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, defeating, I thought for a minute, everybody that he was facing was going to win for a second, but more so than not, Bryan Danielson right there at the end. But then he defeated Bryan along with Claudio and then Sammy Guevara as well. So officially, your results as the steel cage match kicked off the show. Jungle Boy, who's now going by his real name, and Jack Perry, he defeated Luchasaurus in a about 20-minute steel cage match that kicked off the night. They've kept it short and sweet with video packages in between, of course, because you still get your entrances. Here we are, still, almost 3.5 hour show with the main event still to come, and then a, hour pre-show at the start. In which, honestly, I don't really know what the hell happened because I was still watching college football at that point in time. I do know, though, I saw on social media that Danhausen sort of debuted not necessarily new gimmick, but a fresher gimmick to what we've seen him do in AEW. Sort of on the heelish side, if you will, a little darker and edgier. Face paint was a little different. But he was in the 10-man tag with Best Friends, and they defeated the Factory as figured, as thought. The Acclaimed retained in the meantime. So the main event coming up next with Jon Moxley and MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship. But other than that, I can't tell you what the hell happened on the buy-in. The 0 hour kickoff pre-show for AEW here tonight for Full Gear, as this will be the 4th and final pay-per-view of the year. And there'll come more TV specials, but then they'll get into 2023. And it seems like they're finally going to go out west and overseas as well, as they've been updating, of course, their live event touring schedule. And after this show here tonight, they're going to be heading out Midwest and then out west. Death Triangle and the Elite, they're going to have a best-of-7 series with the World Trios tag team titles. Match 1 tonight. Match 2 is on Dynamite Wednesday. Match 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It seems like they're going to have a match every fucking Wednesday from now until the end of the year. And then you would have to think it's going to go 7. And then at New Year's, smashing at that point. That's when the Elite would, potentially win the Trios titles back. Jericho and Ishii for the Ring of Honor World title as well on Wednesday. So, like I said, yeah, they'll head out. This Thanksgiving, of course, is on Thursday. Hopefully everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. If Punk doesn't return tonight, maybe have him return at the end of Dynamite, because, if MJF wins, okay, just celebrate down the show, have him come out to the Chicago crowd and, go from there. Because that's the thing, who's MJF going to face if he wins the title now? They know. Thing is, we don't. So that's why we got to watch. But a best of 7, that's big for the World Trios titles with Death Triangle and the Elite. So not one match or 2. We're getting 7 total. It'll be 9 officially when it's all said and done, from All Out to tonight, and then the next, 6. Well, really 8, but you get my point. So main event coming up next, but yeah, okay, there's that. Jade retained her TBS title as mentioned. Jericho still your Ring of Honor World Champ. Saraya defeated Baker. Samoa Joe as mentioned, your new TV champ. Sting and Darby beat Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. No DQ tag match. Jamie Hayter, your new women's champion, and then the Acclaimed just retained. So here we go with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. MJF, he's better than you and you know it. Challenging Jon Moxley for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cashing in his casino ladder match poker chip that he had won at All Out. So here comes MJF to hometown crowd in his own backyard. And it, as mentioned, hasn't been a matter of if, but a matter of when, because he is their face of the company, their most homegrown talent from day one. And, if not now, when? So, he's challenged for the title before, lost a couple times. He's got to beat Moxley tonight, you'd have to think. As he literally just motorboated some girl's tits in the front row. Only him, maybe Vince, can get away with that. But I'll digress. But MJF and then Moxley to come out here in a second. Justin Roberts to give him a long intro. So MJF chant from the crowd. We had a fuck CM Punk chant earlier during the Elite match with Death Triangle. JR was making fun of what happened as well on commentary, might add. And now here comes the world champion for the next half hour or so at the max. He's been champ now a couple times in AEW. And should be putting over MJF and dropping the title this evening, you'd have to think. As he flips off the camera and says, "Follow me." Wow, dang. And there is a bitch, I might add, in Cleveland, Ohio, who hates this fucking song. So we'll see how much heat is going to be thrown in this main event World Heavyweight Championship match tonight in the main event of AEW Full Gear. Moxley wearing some red pants. Normally he's not wrestling in anything other than jeans or black trunks or tights. Just weird seeing him wear red tights. He pushes the one usher out of the way and about shit his pants. Like, what the fuck was that? So, of course, he celebrates with the crowd. Regal uh, walking out with him. Of course, the leader, if you will, of the Blackpool Combat Club. That's sort of hasn't done anything lately. You know, it's been pushing towards Bryan doing his own thing, Claudio doing his own thing, and of course Moxley is world champion again. And then, you know, putting over MJF here tonight, you got the thing. So, MJF jerking it in the corner. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hazmat suit, Bryce Remsburg going to be your official white capper zebra referee for this matchup. But this crowd, to begin with, is going to be behind MJF. And if he doesn't win, they're probably going to riot. So Justin Roberts now going to give the intros. And at 11:30, yeah, we'll get a half-hour main event match for the title. We'll be done by midnight, I have to think. And, you know, if anything's going to happen at the end, with somebody coming out or whatnot, like, that'll do it then for Full Gear. So, I mean, on paper, the card really ain't that great. I mean, you get the trios rematch for those titles with the Elite returning, okay. The Jungle Boy Luchasaurus shit's been going on for fucking how long now at this point, so hopefully that's over with. You know, honestly, other than this main event match, the Saraya Britt Baker match, on paper, I thought was the second best match on the card. And then, of course, probably the Fatal 4-Way Ring of Honor world title matchup with Jericho, Bryan, Claudio, and Sammy Guevara. But, of course, this is the main event for a reason, because it is, in fact, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley, MJF, for championship gold at Full Gear. So Moxley going to hand over the title to William Regal. Got an issue, unfortunately. As we'll continue to try to watch this. Pretty solid from start to finish tonight. I've had a couple issues, no doubt about it, technical difficulty, but here we go. Bell rings, match underway, and as MJF's in the corner, I think he got slapped in the face. Moxley just waiting for him to turn around, and now MJF going to slap him in the face. Actually, they butt heads. They're talking trash in the middle of the ring, and yeah, now it's just a slap fight. What are you going to do? And then a forearm. Chop to the chest. Another chop. Third time's a charm. So, let me know in the comments below, of course, who you have winning. And then if, in fact, you think anything's going to happen to end the show with anybody coming out to confront the champ, whether it's Moxley, MJF for that matter. Maybe the Blackpool Combat Club turns on Moxley for all of them. You know, all I know is, you know, I think MJF's winning this. I honestly don't know what the hell's going to happen afterwards, other than, like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if CM Punk would come out. So we'll see what happens, but so once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. MJF struts a little bit, slaps his ass and says, "Kiss this," and Moxley suicide dive out of the ring, and now MJF just getting warmed up, running the ropes, and then gets a salute from the crowd. Oh, thank you. So Moxley now from behind, gonna push him into the corner, and is Moxley biting him? He's obviously telling him this, that, and the other. Moxley flipping off the crowd, but it looked like Moxley was biting MJF. And then, of course, back into the corner, reversal, and MJF with some stomps. So the ref backs off MJF. MJF gets clotheslined. And now Moxley lays down and poses into the corner and just going to take his good old time. So, like I said, those are, your results. All right show. I mean, nothing spectacular. Couple good matches, like I had stated there on paper. And, honestly, the 3-4 matches, in total were probably the ones that, showed out anyway. Everything else was average at best. So here we are. See what happens. But so once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. So I'll leave it at that. But Jon Moxley with a cover, 1 kick out by MJF. Got a crossface locked in. And now MJF's for sure biting Jon Moxley right in the thumb. And now some forearms into the corner. Nice reversal. Nice chop. Shit, that had to hurt. So we get disconnected. Hopefully we get reconnected. Come on, man. Not now. Why couldn't you have done this during, something else that nobody cares about? There we go. Got a submission, but then a rope break. So we're back to it live for AEW Full Gear. Full Gear is honestly that fourth pay-per-view that has potential to be good, but just like Revolution, you really don't know what you're getting because they go all out for, well, it's all in first off. They only went Double or Nothing, but Double or Nothing and All Out. No pun intended for that, but those are their 2 big shows. Ask SummerSlam, WrestleMania, if you will. Hell, even Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, for that matter. So now they're fighting ringside. Like I said, I was at that Dynamite post All Out. Haven't been to an AEW show since because they haven't been in the area. And like I said, they'll be heading out west, so they're not going to be in the area anytime soon, not until at least February, March, April. But I've gone to a couple other wrestling shows in WWE recently, videos on the channel, so be sure to check those out. More to come as well, so be sure to subscribe. But MJF ringside getting a count of 5 now from Remsburg as Moxley just buys time, waiting for him to get back into the ring. And as he rolls back into the ring, and here we go. Into the corner goes MJF, but out of the corner comes MJF with a nice big clothesline. Give us an aerial shot. Of course, we got Jim Ross, Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz on commentary. 2. They're on their feet. And then clothesline misses. MJF with a scratch to the back. I think he's, now he's punching him just boom, 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 boom in the face. Like nails on a chalkboard, but into the corner with a headbutt. Now they're going to count to 10 and do every turnbuckle, top, middle, to the bottom. MJF in control right now. Cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. So MJF now gonna go ringside, grab the world title that's on the announce table, kiss it, and then slide everything off, move the table. The cloth is still on it, but he's moving the table. And they set that up in front of the ring right at the bottom of the ramp. Now he's slapping the table. Moxley now with a nice diamond cutter out of nowhere. I know Randy Orton was a little in DDP wrestling at Full Gear tonight, but Moxley now back in control. Now he's just stomping MJF's face in. MJF fighting back with some kicks of his own, but as he still is lying down, Moxley continuing to kick him in, so. MJF down and out. He's laying on the ring apron there, right in front of that table. Here comes Moxley now from behind, standing on the ring apron, and says, maybe a Death Rider incoming, and gonna put MJF through the table. I would have to think MJF's probably gonna reverse this though and put Mox through it. But normally when you set up the table, you're the one going through it. That's how that goes. 9 times out of 10, that's how that goes. So, on the ring apron, there's a punch to the chest. MJF picking him up. Oh shit, he's gonna tombstone him through the fucking table. Tombstone him on the fucking ring apron rather than through the table. And now MJF's holding his left knee. That's a sell. He ain't fucking hurt. I mean, no doubt about it, that had to hurt. You know, the ring apron's the hardest part of the ring. Now a cover, 1, 2, kick out. Match continues. Something's got to give. Moxley's either going to retain or we're going to know world champ tonight. For the second straight Full Gear in a row. It's even, the card being so-so, like, still at the end of the night. Last year's Hangman, MJF potentially tonight. And now back on the ring apron. They'll go through the table on this spot rather than the tombstone on the ring apron like they did a second ago. Kick to the back of the knee. Moxley back in control now. They give us the, there's a pile driver through the table. gave us the ring post camera angle, and holy shit, MJF just got power drive show replay by Moxley through that table that he had set up. So like I said, you normally will go through the table or go through whatever object it is if you're the one setting it up. But at least you know how you set it up and you know how you're going to land. But everything, of course, as you know, per wrestling is scripted. Ain't fake, it's scripted. There's a difference. You know, you have, well, in the meantime, another technical difficulty. It buffers real quick, but here we go. All right. Have the official Bryce Remsburg counting for MJF as Mox is in the ring, but he was talking to him before he slid back in, so we'll probably get a reversal as soon as MJF gets back in the ring, I'd have to guess, or a Moxley beat down, one of the two. He's got to make the count of 10, though, first off. Doesn't make the count of 10, he's going to get counted out, and Moxley retains, which the crowd's going to be pissed off about that. We're at a 9 count. And he's back in at 9.5. So MJF turns him around. Moxley with the paradigm shift, the DDT cover, 1, 2, and then a kick out. So, all right, they go that route. And now Moxley just kicking the back of his hamstring. And now he's going to put him in a figure 4, make it a figure 8. Woos from the crowd. Moxley saying, rock on. Hell yeah. Cover, 1, 2, and kick out. As they're still, you know, of course, locked in with the submission. MJF trying to reverse this, put the pressure on Moxley, but of course still locked in. And we'll get back to the action right now. There we go. We are in fact back live. In full gear. Maybe, maybe not. Come on, man. There we go. So MJF reverses it. Rope break, though. Rope break. Get a 5 count. Of course, you know, it's a DQ. What, they got about another 10 minutes or so, maybe 12. MJF now has Mox in between the ropes and then hits him with whatever you want to call it, it's a pile driver. And of course, the kick out. Moxley not even really doing anything with that. All he's doing is propping MJF's left leg up on the bottom rope and then, like, sitting on him, but MJF's dropping his leg in the meantime, and of course he's selling it. Now he's going to go up top. And then MJF grabs the top rope and pulls down Moxley. And now they'll both go up top, and we'll probably have some sort of superplex, I would have to think, off the top rope here. Elbows to the throat. And now he'll turn MJF around. Yeah, we're going to vertical superplex off the top rope with these two now. Maybe not. Moxley took it straight down with a DDT. Off the top rope. So, cover 1, 2, and then a rope break. MJF with a couple fingers. And now he's going to try to break his right arm. Yeah, that was a damn good DDT off the top rope. No doubt about it. MJF's any taller, his legs would have gave. But he just off top rope, perfect height to do that, you know. Feet hit the floor, the mat, and hits the DDT, and, you know, then they get the cover and then the rope break, and here we go. So Moxley egging on this crowd. MJF just spit in Moxley's face. Moxley with a slap back, but Moxley along lines of something like, "This is what it's fucking like being champ." Like, basically, come and get it. Like, I ain't gonna, you know, go quietly. Boo and yays with the punches, the forearms in the middle of the ring, back and forth here. So they keep it up. Of course, the fucking ref goes down. Jesus Christ. So MJF now gonna reach in his trunks. There's that dynamite diamond. Will he use it, though, is the big question. He stated he won it. He's used to using it, though. Here comes William Regal. Of course, him and Regal's promo they had. When was that? I think when Moxley faced Hangman for the title, about a month ago. That was damn good. I mean, MJF's top notch on the mic. MJF flipping off William Regal. And from behind, here comes Moxley with a headlock. MJF, in the meantime, got rid of that diamond ring, so MJF 1-2 kick out by Mox. Another headlock. Gonna take him down. The other ref got fucking knocked out. Jesus Christ. Two referees in the way, getting knocked out. So, third one. Who's going to be the third ref? Here's Moxley from behind with another headlock. Nice takedown. So, MJF's tapping out, but there's no ref to see it. So, Moxley, in quotes, technically retains right there, but the match continues because it wasn't stopped because the ref never saw him, tap out. Which, typical heel work. Like, Regal trying to get Moxley to get the... Oh, shit. Ref's attention, then Regal slides a pair of brass knuckles to MJF. So Regal's turned on the Blackpool Combat Club in the meantime. Brass knuckles from MJF to Jon Moxley. Puts him in his trunks. Remsburg never saw it. He's still in his hazmat suit. And MJF with a cover here. One arm across Jon Moxley's chest. 1, 2, 3. MJF's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Defeating Jon Moxley tonight at Full Gear. With help from William Regal sliding in a pair of brass knuckles. Regal turning on the Blackpool Combat Club. MJF's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And it's about damn fucking time. To the devil himself. You can't write this shit. Even though technically they have, you can't fucking write this shit. So Regal's aligned himself with MJF and vice versa. Which that helps out MJF more than you think. He doesn't need him, but why the hell not? Storyline-wise, it makes sense to an extent. How's the show going to end, though, is the big question. Is anybody coming out? We got about 6 minutes to the top of the hour for midnight here this Saturday night. So, MJF's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to him. He's still, in fact, better than you, and you know it. Of the company and the business, for that matter. MJF era begins with a win over Jon Moxley at Full Gear. He's their face of the company. He's their biggest homegrown talent they've had since day one. And it's taken until late 2022 after they started in, late 18, New Year's of 19, and then, get to TV later in the year, and 3.5, almost 4 years later, MJF's, World Heavyweight Champion in All Elite Wrestling, as he will walk up the ramp and celebrate. He sits down. He said something, or Moxley said something to him as well with the cover. There's the closing credits. They promote Dynamite as he'll do an angel. And that does it for Full Gear. So MJF celebrates that in the show as he is, in fact, your new World Heavyweight Champion. So the question is, as mentioned, will the devil get his due tonight? Well, now we know that answer, and he sure as hell did. MJF's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. But the other question that I had was, if he would win, who the hell is going to step up and be the first to challenge him? They have the talent. They have the depth. Moxley, of course, no doubt about it, could get his rematch. It's not going to be Samoa Joe, who's your TV champion. It's not going to be Orange Cassidy, who's your All-Atlantic champion. It's not going to be Hook, who is your FTW champion, even though that's not, sanctioned by the company. It's not going to be either Anthony Bowens or Max Caster, the Acclaim, because they're, tag team champions. Scissor me. And it ain't going to be Pac or the Lucha Brothers because they're, you know, you're 1/3 or 2/3 or 3 of 3 AEW World Trios champs. And they're now going to do a best of 7 with Death Triangle and the Elite from now, it seems like, until the end of the year, every week on fucking Dynamite. And that'll go 7. So we'll see who ends up, in fact, winning those trios titles by the end of the year. But, I mean, if Adam Cole were to return, okay, throw his, name into the mix. Just trying to think here, scrolling through this list of talent that they have that, who would make sense. Brian. But it seems like they might have him go after Jericho, who ain't going to go after MJF either because he's the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. It ain't going to be Malachi or Brody either because, the House of Black, with their vignettes potentially returning, before too long. Doesn't seem like it's going to be FTR because they're draped in gold in the tag team division. I could see for the hell of it Jungle Boy, Quick. They still got to do Daniel Garcia and Jericho with all that, so he ain't going to be involved. Ethan Page would make sense, I think, because you have MJF and the Firm, like I had said earlier. They could go there with that first. His name, of anybody out of that has the potential talent, I think he would make sense. Hangman to return whenever he returns from his injury potentially. They teased Orange Cassidy and Jake Hager tonight, and trash talking the purple hat. Jay Lethal. We'll see if they do with him and Sanjay and Satnam Singh and all them. But I mean, of course, there's Darby Allin as well. Moxley could get a rematch, but I mean, I would think other than say Jungle Boy or Ethan Page, because they have, I mean, you could have Miro challenge them maybe, but they have a bunch of guys right now in the tag team or group setting. And this is for the men. And like I said, other champs aren't going to be going after them. Wardlow. That's why they took the fucking TNT title off of him. How did I not think of that? They're going to have Wardlow challenge MJF for the fucking World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be Wardlow. How did I not see that clear as day? But this is all, second fiddle to if it ain't CM Punk. And it might be, it might not be. Only time's going to tell if he's, even going to return, to the company. For that matter. So, Punk, okay, at the top. But if it's not CM Punk, it's going to be in this order, 1, 2, 3, I think. Wardlow for sure, because they have history. And then, 2A, 2B, Jungle Boy. But I think it'd be Ethan Page first off, because then the situation with MJF and the Firm right now. Wardlow's coming for MJF, and he's coming for the World Championship next. That's who's going to be challenging uh, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Yeah, that's why they fucking took the TNT title off of him. That's why they had Joe win earlier. They should merge the TV title for Ring of Honor and the AEW TNT title together, I'd have to think. Just make one TV title for that matter. But, yeah. I think that, it makes sense. It's going to be Wardlow going after MJF. Wardlow challenging MJF. Then you got Ethan Page out of the firm, but really everybody. They could do one match here, one match there with everybody involved. And then Jungle Boy would make sense, I think, too. We'll see, but, looming is still, a CM Punk return potentially. If, ever at all. Because that, no doubt about it, with the history they have, would make absolutely perfect sense. Because that seemed like that's the direction they were going before, the company was hit with, fucking fireball of a pipe bomb. So, I'll leave it at that. There's not really much else to be said, but, of course, I want to tune in here and catch the last hour or so of the show and see what was going to happen and get my thoughts and opinions on it. So, as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. It seems like if it's not going to be CM Punk, it's going to be Wardlow challenging MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship title. He defeated Jon Moxley in tonight's main event at AEW Full Gear. So, that'll do it. So, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Keep an eye out for more from the videos. Culture Ball, the NFL, and professional wrestling. Be sure to subscribe, notification bell next to as well, get notified. But I'll leave you with this. MJF is in fact your new and first time ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion, as he is in fact still better than you, now with gold around his waist and on his shoulder, and you know it. So the future of the company, the future of the business, as he says, starting to making. He's their poster boy, their biggest homegrown talent. He's AEW's future. And then the other day, of course, you had Donald Trump announce that he's going to run once again for president of the United States of America. The year 2024 is going to be very interesting. Because then, get into professional wrestling with it, the bidding war of 2024, as MJF has stated recently, is he going to stay or is he going to go? Should he stay? Should he go? He has leverage, one way or another. But yeah, MJF's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to him. And the biggest question now is, because the biggest question was the devil going to get his due? Yes, he did. But now it's who's next in line for that title? Who's going to challenge him now? If it ain't CM Punk, which I'm not going to be shocked if it is, I think it's Wardlow, and then Ethan Page out of the firm, but really everybody out of the firm for that matter, and then, Jungle Boy, and then go down from there. Just position-wise, where they have everybody right now. That's what it feels like to me. Of course, you let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. But that'll do it. So, yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. And I'll see everybody when I see you, as always. Be sure to subscribe once already. And MJF, once again, is in fact your new All Elite Wrestling AEW World Heavyweight Champion. As he's in fact better than you. And you know it.